Hi, my name is Tyler. I am the study abroad advisor at Webster University at the Webster Groves campus. I'm going to give you a little information about faculty-led study abroad programs kind of in general. So most of our program today is talking with faculty leaders, specifically looking at details over specific programs, but we are going to talk kind of just about, in general, faculty-led programs and what that means. So what are faculty-led programs? So there's short-term hybrid courses. So a faculty-led program is associated with a specific course. So these courses might be 1 to 3 credit hours. 3 credit hours is typical, but there are 1 credit hour options as well. Generally spend 1 to 2 weeks abroad. 1 week if they're fall break or spring break programs, and then sometimes summer programs go a little bit longer because there's not the conflicting schedule with the rest of your semester classes. So they're offered, like I said, fall break, spring break, and during the summer. And then you travel kind of as a cohort. So you travel with the professor of the course and all of your classmates travel together for that portion of the course. And then the courses and destinations change from year to year. So some of our programs are repeat programs that have gone year after year, but every year there's new programs and new offerings as well. So how do the programs work? So like I said, they're associated with a course. So a fall break and a spring break involves a semester-long course. So you may or may not meet the whole semester, but you'll be registered for a fall semester course that's associated with the study abroad program if you're going abroad for fall break. If you go abroad for spring break, it'll be on your spring course registration. That'll just be like a 3 credit hour course, just like any of the other courses that you're registered for the semester. Most of the courses, you do the vast majority of your learning and the content of the course in that 1 week abroad is kind of a high intensity. You're together there on site 24 hours a day for the 8 or 9 days or however long you're there. So a lot of the workload outside of that that week is a lot lighter than maybe a normal course would be because it's not spaced out. It's really focused on that 1 week of kind of the full immersive experience. But normally you'll meet a couple times ahead of time, maybe a couple times on the back end for reflection and to turn in kind of a final assignment or something like that. Some courses meet online and have the ability for students to join the courses from anywhere and then meet up with the group. And then some courses meet on campus here in Webster Groves. So for registration, we get a lot of questions about how to register for these courses. So you can't register for the courses the way that you register for your other courses. You do have to apply through the Office of Study Abroad, through the Study Abroad application process and be accepted to the program. And then once the course is confirmed and you've been accepted, you'll be registered for the course. How does the travel work? If you're coming from a different place, you can meet the students there. Oftentimes from St. Louis, people opt to be a part of a group flight. So a lot of times it's easier for groups to travel together. So if this is the case, group flights are booked so students and the faculty can all travel together. And then the flight will be charged the cost of the flight will be charged to your student account. So you'll pay it that way as opposed to booking a flight independently. So the cost for faculty-led programs. So if you're going abroad for fall break or spring break, your tuition is the exact same. It's just a part of your undergraduate full-time tuition, assuming that you're a full-time undergraduate student. So the rate that you normally pay with your normal financial aid package and scholarships is the same. It's just like being registered for a 3 credit hour course that's not a faculty-led program. And then the additional cost on top of that is there is a study abroad fee, at least for the programs that are going internationally. It's $175. Which will include your insurance for the program as well. And then there's a program fee that gets charged to your account, and this amount varies greatly by program. So it covers things like accommodations while you're gone. So depending on are you staying in a hotel or where are you staying, all of that stuff is included. Your transportation on the ground when you get into country, you're not paying for things like that when you're there. Some programs include meals. All programs normally include some meals. Some programs, depending on the accommodations, include most or all meals, to where some programs have some of your meals or expenses on your own. But the cost of the flight is separate from the program fee. So who are faculty-led study abroad programs good for? They're good for everyone. They're great opportunities. We have a lot of students who have studied abroad on full semester programs and then study abroad on a faculty-led program, or they went other way around, go abroad for a short term and then decide that they want to kind of step out there and go for a longer period of time. I know I can speak from personal experience. That's what I did my first time ever traveling abroad, was on a short-term faculty-led program. I was abroad for 2 weeks and then later studied abroad for a full semester after that. So, but they are specifically good for students who don't have the opportunity to go abroad for a full term or semester. So this is, a lot of reasons. Students that have jobs that they can't leave, if you have family or other commitments that are keeping you, that need to keep you close to home. If you're an athlete and you have a busy practice schedules, maybe you have a fall and a spring season, so it's really impossible to go abroad for a full semester, then faculty-led programs are a great alternative, especially for students with rigid degree plans as well. If you have very specific major requirements, or maybe you're a transfer student coming in, so all of your GCP courses are kind of already done from your transfer credits, and so you just have a few very specific courses that you need to finish up for your major, something like that, can make a full semester abroad kind of difficult to fit into your academic timeline. Maybe for students who've never traveled internationally before and like the idea of traveling with a group, it's definitely comforting to be traveling with your classmates and other people as well as a faculty member who's responsible for the group, and flying together and that sort of thing definitely can calm some of the anxiety with traveling abroad for the first time. Then also for students who can fulfill degree requirements. So some courses are offered for very specific degrees. Like for example, we have a game design program that's scheduled to go abroad for fall break. Normally game design students don't have a ton of opportunities to study abroad and fulfill degree requirements, can certainly study abroad for a full semester and get GCP or elective credit. But this is, the faculty-led program offers a unique opportunity for students to study abroad within their discipline of their major. So I mentioned the game design program, scheduled to travel to Japan. For fall break, the other programs, we have an art history program, Florence and the Renaissance, to travel to Italy. We have indigenous rights and the rights of nature in Ecuador, scheduled to travel to Quito and then visit the Amazon region of Ecuador as well. Sounds like it is a new program. We have a repeat program this year, Inequality in the Environment, specifically looking at the coffee industry, traveling to Costa Rica. And then we have another repeat program. It's actually a domestic program, traveling to Taos, New Mexico in the United States, which is a sustainability studies course on living on and off the grid. And then for spring break 2022, so these applications aren't open yet. This isn't 100% official, but programs that we have scheduled right now for spring break 2022 is Contemporary Chinese Pop Culture, which is a new course traveling to China. And then we also have 2 biology courses that are repeat programs that travel to Quito and the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador. One of them is intended for biology majors, and the other one is a non-major option that has no prerequisites. So who can study abroad? So for faculty-led, study abroad requirements are the same as any full-term study abroad. So for undergraduate students, you have to have completed 15 credit hours of Webster and have at least a 2.5 GPA, be in good social and financial standing with the university. And then graduate students have to have completed 9 credit hours and have a 3.0 GPA or higher. Other than that, it's not a competitive process. Sometimes faculty-led programs can fill, in which case applicants are prioritized based on the order that they applied. But other than that, if you meet the eligibility requirements, you're able to study abroad. So different things to consider when you're thinking about what kind of program you want to go on. So we'll talk some about academics, about kind of personal goals, and just about locations and maybe cultures that are of specific interest to you. So for academics, definitely talk with your academic advisor, let them know you want to study abroad. Some programs encourage or even require study abroad if you're in international studies, international relations, international human rights, like that, have a degree requirement of studying abroad. Faculty-led programs can often fulfill degree requirements too. So like I said, that those change every year, every semester, there's different options. So definitely keep an eye on what's coming and see if there's anything that can count towards your major. And if you're studying a foreign language, is a great opportunity to be able to go abroad, even if you don't have the time to do a full semester. Is an amazing chance to practice your language skills. For example, coming up, we have the programs to Ecuador and Costa Rica. Maybe you're studying Spanish. It's an amazing opportunity to kind of immerse yourself and practice Spanish for a week that you wouldn't normally get to practice that much otherwise at home. As well as the program going to Japan. We have a lot of Japanese minors who are interested in being able to practice their language skills while on a faculty-led program. So then for personal goals, there's a lot of reasons that people want to study abroad. So it's a great thing to put on your resume. Building the kind of cross-cultural skills that you gain from studying abroad is something that employers are looking for. Is a fantastic thing to talk about in interviews and put on your resume. To practice the local language as well. We talked a little bit about the ability to be immersed and really get way more time, kind of contact hours in the language than you would sitting in a classroom a couple hours a week. For the experiential piece of it and being able to be kind of on the ground, you'll really learn so much in 1 week. You really kind of have a whole semester's worth of learning in a 1 week experience. Allows you to connect with new cultures and build friendships with other students on the trip, as well as with the people you meet and the experiences that you have, and connect with Webster faculty as well that you get to travel with. It's just a very different setting to travel and be with someone 24/7 for 9 or 10 days, as opposed to seeing them on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for an hour. So then also location, definitely consider where you want to go. So is the place of interest to you? So certainly we want you to be interested in the course that's being offered, but a lot of motivation can be by places that you want to travel. If you always wanted to go to Asia, to Africa, to Europe, to Latin America, wherever programs are being offered, can be something of interest to you. Do you want to visit a big city? Then a program like to Tokyo could be an amazing option. Or if you want to go to visit the Amazon, if you're passionate about climate change and the rainforest and indigenous communities, then that can be an amazing experience as well. So how can you afford to go? A very important question. So we'll talk a little bit about financial aid and scholarships both. So financial aid, like I said, if you go abroad during the school year, so in the fall or spring semester, you retain your financial aid package. So you get your normal scholarships and financial aid that you have. Studying abroad doesn't change that. If you go abroad during the summer, that is a little bit different. Your normal financial aid package generally covers fall and spring. Summer tuition is paid on a per credit hour basis. So studying abroad is tuition wise in the summer is the same tuition price that you would pay if you were studying at your home campus, but is a little bit different if you've never taken summer classes before. So something to talk with your financial aid advisor about, especially if you're thinking about going abroad in the summer, what that might look like. And then for scholarships, so like I said, you'll retain your normal scholarships that you receive, but we also have additional scholarships that you can apply for that can be credited to your student account just for the semester or term that you're going abroad. So we have 3 scholarships that are available for short-term programs. If you're interested in full-term programs, this list is actually a bit longer. But for short-term programs, we have the Marilyn Bradley, the Next Century Leaders, and the Dr. Roy Tamashiro. All of those scholarship funds are available for short-term programs. So some of your next steps. So you'll need a passport to travel abroad. If you don't have a passport already, don't worry about it. We'll talk a little bit about that process, and then to meet with your advisors, and then you're ready to apply. So for a passport, like I said, if you don't have a passport already, don't worry about it. Students apply to study abroad all the time not having a passport. So we can even accept you to study abroad programs before your passport arrives. We just need to know that your passport is in process so that we know that you'll have it before you need it to apply for a visa if necessary, or before you actually are traveling. So if you've never had a passport before, you have to apply in person at acceptance facility. These are oftentimes post offices, libraries, things like that. So you can find an acceptance facility near you on the U.S. Department of State website. So there's kind of a list of things you'll need, but you can visit online, gives you kind of an exact breakdown of how you apply for a passport. You can also contact us to an Office of Study Abroad. We're more than happy to help talk you through the process. So meet with your advisors. So I can be your study abroad advisor if you're a student at Webster Groves. If you're a student at one of our international campuses, talk with your study abroad advisor at your home campus. Definitely also work with your academic advisor planning for study abroad, as well as your financial aid advisor too. And then the last step is just to apply online. So our upcoming fall break programs, for example, have an application deadline of May 15th. So we still have about another month to apply for upcoming fall break programs, and we'll open applications for spring. Spring 2022 are not open yet, but you can go ahead and do kind of the other steps and start the planning process. Yeah, and if you're interested in seeing upcoming events or more information sessions that we have on specific programs or announcements on new programs and that sort of thing, feel free to follow us on social media.